Are you struggling with the space between your header group and the first item menu? It can be frustrating when things don't look just right. But don't worry, you're in the right place. Today, we're going to tackle this issue together. I totally get it. Many of us have faced the challenge of adjusting spacing in our designs. It can feel like a small detail, but it makes a big difference in the overall look. You're definitely not alone in this. Let's dive into the specific question at hand. One user recently asked, how can I change the space between the header group and the first item menu? They mentioned that they could only find solutions that adjusted the space for all items, but they only want to change it for the header group. Sound familiar? Let's find a solution together. So, what's the issue here? The spacing between elements in a menu can often be controlled by CSS properties. However, if you're only seeing options that affect all items, it can be tricky to isolate just the header group. But don't worry, we'll break it down step by step. And stick around. I have a special tip at the end that will help you customize your menus even further. You won't want to miss it. To change the gap between the header group and the first item menu, the user should first identify the CSS class or ID associated with the header group. This will allow for targeted adjustments. Next, the user should add custom CSS to adjust the margin or padding specifically for the header group. This ensures that only the header group is affected. After adding the custom CSS, the user should check the changes in the browser. This can be done by refreshing the page to see if the gap has been adjusted as desired. If the gap is still not as expected, the user may need to inspect other elements that could be influencing the layout. Adjusting their styles might be necessary. Finally, the user should ensure that their changes are saved and, if applicable, deployed to the live environment. This will make the adjustments visible to all users. Fun fact, did you know that the first website ever created is still online? It was launched in 1991 and is a simple page about the World Wide Web. Just like that page, your design can evolve with just a few tweaks. Now, let's look at the answers provided by other users. An alternative solution from a user named Aziz Bekian suggests a simple and quick method. They recommend creating a layout with the same name as the existing one, which will override it. After that, you can adjust the spacing as needed. Let's take a moment to review another user's answer. An alternative approach shared by another user is to use a full fragment for your navigation drawer. This method gives you complete control over the layout and behavior, allowing you to customize the space between the header group and the first item menu more effectively. That's all for that response. Let's see what someone else had to say. An alternative solution provided by another user involves modifying the daemon XML file. They suggest overriding specific values in the Android support library to adjust the space between the header group and the first item menu. Here's that special tip I promised. Always use specific classes for your elements. This way, you can easily target and adjust individual components without affecting the entire layout. And there you have it. You should now be able to adjust the space between your header group and the first item menu with ease. Remember, small adjustments can lead to big improvements in your design. If you found this helpful, hit that subscribe button for more tips and keep experimenting with your layouts.